Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. This is another board game review, and in today's episode we're going to be looking at Early Bird, which is a South African board game that I picked up at Comic-Con recently. So what I'll basically be doing is going through a review of the game, doing a little bit of a how-to sort of tutorial as well. This game is an indie game of chance and foul play. It is for 2 to 5 players. It takes roughly about 15 minutes to play, so it's actually quite a quick, speedy game that you can play. It's not going to take up too much of your time, but you'll actually find that you'll be playing multiple rounds, especially when I played it recently with a bunch of friends at a games day. This was something that we played multiple times. So basically, this is a bluffing game where players will act as hungry birds trying to find a worm. Once they get 3 worms, they win. I will go into a tutorial so you'll be able to see all the bits and pieces. But before I do that, just a quick reminder to like, subscribe, share, switch on notifications, all those good things. It really helps this channel, and basically it validates me doing more of these board game reviews because I love board games and I think they're amazing, and I've got a lot of them, so I'm going to try and do reviews of them as much as I can. I wanted to do this one because it's a new one. It's a startup game. Basically it just launched recently at Comic-Con, so I'm one of the first few people to get it. So yeah, anyway, enough with that. Let's go straight into the tutorial. We'll cut to a bird's eye view. Haha, you get it. Let's go. So this is Early Bird. The aim of the game is to get 3 worms, or to get 1 of each food group, and I'll explain what those are in a second. The way it works is that each player will have a bird and a dice of the corresponding color. In this instance, we're going to be playing a 3-player setup, so myself being the green one, then there's a blue one over here and a pink one. So because there are 3 players, you need to have 3, each player needs to be represented by a nope tile and then an additional worm. So a 3-player setup will have 4 tiles. You shuffle these together, shuffle these around, and then you put them down in front. All the backs of the tile are exactly the same, so you won't know which one is which. And then you begin. So you decide who starts first, and that player will have the start token. So for the purpose of this tutorial, I'll start things off, and you can see that it also has an arrow which shows which way the play will go. So in this instance, the blue player will go second. There's also these deck of cards over here, which I'll explain what they are about in a second. And then there are these worm tokens, which are the counters for when you obtain a worm. So basically what happens is, the way the game starts, you'll take your bird, whoever starts will put it in front of a tile, and then that player will be able to look at the tile secretly. In this instance, this is a nope tile, not a worm. So you'll put that there. So none of the other players will know what that is. The blue player will then also put one down. You see they also have a nope. And then the pink player, will put one down, and you see they've actually got the worm. So that's cool. So now if they manage to go throughout the whole round staying here, then they'll be able to get that worm token. So that's the first round, or the first sort of action. The second one is to draw a card out of this deck over here. So me, the green player, I'll draw this card. So I know that there's no worm over here, right, on this side here. Let me just move this here so you can see. So I know that there's no worm here. What I can do, just to throw off the scent, is I could put this card over here, or I could put it maybe by this empty one over here, right? So that's what I'll do right now. I'll put it over here. Then it's the blue player's chance to play. They pick up a card. They've got this popcorn card. They know they also don't have a worm, but for example, they might actually just put it over here. And then the pink player will also draw a card, and it is this green one, and they'll put it over here because they've got the worm, and they also want to get some food groups as well, right? Now the second round is bump or stay. You're able to literally move to another tile if you want to. But for example, I, as the green player, want to move to this tile over here. That's fine, right? But as soon as, for example, the blue player wants to move to this pink tile over here, they then have to challenge. So in order for the blue player to get hold of this tile, they need to roll the dice, and it needs to be higher than the pink person. So, for example, in this instance, the blue player rolled a 2 and the pink player rolled a 3. That means the pink player will then stay here. In the event of a tie, the person who was there originally does stay as well. So, for example, in this roll, the blue player lost, so they can either choose to go here or they can choose to go there. Now, they know that this is where they were originally, and therefore there was a nope here, so they might want to go here, right, to this empty tile over there. Then that's the sort of last person. So that's the end of that round. Now we're able to reveal the cards. So the blue player will have a nope, so they don't get anything. Me, the green player, has a nope, but I do have this purple sort of food group item, so I'll keep this by me. This card over here has a nope, but nobody gets this, so this will get discarded. And then this player over here gets the worm, the pink player, so that'll mean that they get one of these worm tokens, as well as this food group card. So as I mentioned before, if you get all 3 food groups, if you get one of each food group, that's another way for you to win. So these are the 3 food groups. It's the circle green one, it's the triangle purple one, and this sort of square yellow one, basically. So if you get one of each of these, then you win. Also, if you get 3 worms, you also win. So you play, once that first round is done, you then reshuffle the tiles, take back your birds, and you do the exact same thing over again. There's one additional thing that you can do. So you'll notice each of the food group cards have a little symbol at the bottom. There's the arrow here, which means that you can swap your bird with another player, basically just move your bird. Then there's also this dice one, which lets you re-roll. So for example, in the previous instance where the blue player lost, they can actually play this card and then re-roll the dice again, so it gives them an extra chance of getting to a certain tile. And then the green one is, with a magnifying glass, lets you look at a certain tile. So you remember, you always look at the first tile that you're at, but you never look at another tile when you move. So for example, this will give you a good indication, if you play this card, of what is under certain tiles, and that gives you some information on whether or not you want to move. You can play these cards at any point before the reveal, but remember, when you do play them, you have to discard them, so that you can't keep these cards in your hand for the end. So you almost need to make sure that you have duplicates, or you are not going to win via these 3 food groups. You're going to rather choose to win with the worms. So that's basically another way that you can do that. And yeah, that's essentially early bird. So you keep playing until you have 3 worms, or one of each food group. If there are no more cards left in the deck, then the one with the most worms will win. And yeah, so that's basically the game. So that was the early bird tutorial. As I'd mentioned, played this with a group of friends recently. They thoroughly enjoyed it. I highly recommend that you check it out. It's something that's really fun, easy to grasp and understand, fairly simple game mechanics. It's something that is high replay value. So yeah, I totally recommend that you guys check this out. I'll put links to where you can inquire about this. As I'd mentioned, it launched around the time of Comic-Con, so it is a very, very new game, but I highly recommend checking it out, and also supporting local board game developers. So shout out to the co-creators Daniel Olivier and Lara van Heerden, who I actually got to meet at Comic-Con. Shout out to this game, really, really cool, really fun time. But yeah, again, just a quick reminder to please like and subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, and I'll check you out on the next one. Peace.